Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I sometimes say on my channel, I just know when it's time to do a Shop My Stash video, and that will be what takes precedence, and that's what we're doing today. Only this one, because I do have a drawer in my rainbow drawers where I've kind of devoted it to things that, you know, I want to make sure I use, little rediscoveries and stuff. But today I thought it would be fun to actually grab for things from the very back of my drawer. Somebody suggested this recently in the comments section, like do another one of those back of the drawer makeup things where you just reach in and you get something that very likely has not been used in a while. And so I've done that. I already got the things just to kind of streamline my video process. I already bagged it up so we can just go through and I'll show you what I came up with today. And my eyes are kind of puffy and irritated from crying last night. Maybe it's hormones, maybe it's stress, I'm not sure, but my dad has not been feeling the best lately. And I feel like I've also been shouldering some of Bub's stress from starting up his new law firm and all that. I mean, it's exciting stress, but that's still stress. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, I kind of broke down and I had a good night's sleep. I had a sleep that felt so deep and so good, but then I woke up a little bit early, just a little bit ahead of my alarm, and it was just long enough for me to have a dream that I was having a migraine. Like in the dream, I'm walking around the house feeling the symptoms like this. My hand's starting to feel numb and I'm hearing the kids and I'm thinking, I've got to call Bub, I've got to call Mom. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so unfair to have a dream like that. What was that sound? Anyway, guys, some might say, well, why get up and do a makeup video today? Well, number one, it's Thursday, and I always do videos on Thursday. Number two, it feels good to stay in my routine. And number three, it just feels good to shoot a makeup video. So this is good for me. This is therapeutic for me. One thing I do need to do is dampen my beauty blender, so I'll go do that. Or e.l.f. sponge, I should say. Love this sponge. Actually bought a backup because I can't always keep up with getting them cleaned in time. So I've already moisturized, I've already sunscreened my skin, and the primer that was at the very back of all the primers, it seemed like, was this e.l.f. matte putty primer in the little sample size. So I thought, okay, we'll use it. It actually feels super duper smooth. A poreless putty primer that I got early on when that stuff was new, I thought felt pretty dry actually, but hi, how are you?
Good.
What's been going on in there? I thought I heard some sounds.
Yeah.
What happened?
Rosie in there.
Rosie's in there,
And
yeah.
She was digging in the stuffy.
Digging in the stuffies? What do you think she was digging for? Did you leave a tuna sandwich laying in there or something?
No.
Why don't you head back in there and get a little more rest, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you. Later. What I was thinking about with these is how I feel like these have gotten creamier since like the first putty primer came out, because I remember getting this little like sample trio that e.l.f. just sent from their website one time with an order, and it was this and like two other kinds, the original and one other. And same with like when their Cookies and Dreams collection came out. It's really smooth. It's really easy to blend. Is it really mattifying? You think I'm matte? I don't feel like it's really any more matte than just the regular version. But one thing's for sure, it's a nice texture going across the skin and it's very creamy and it's not like pulling in any way. We're getting reacquainted with some things today, my friends. I was surprised that this one was at the back, but it was. It's my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy foundation. It was a little further back than just the original version, which is my favorite, the original matte. But yeah, we got the Dewy here. It's the shade Buff Bisque. So I thought, let's use that today. Let's just make friends with this one all over again. It does have some smell. It's not like a bad smell. I feel like I'm getting far too much on my skin, like a ton was on this little applicator. We'll just go with that and dab it around. Yeah, we'll just use from those puddles that I put on my cheeks. Wet n Wild really has it going on with the base products, you know? From their Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator to these foundations. And then they've now got that niacinamide skin tint. It's pretty good. This is definitely, I think, maybe it's just because I'm blending it with the Beauty Blender, but the Dewy always seems like a little less coverage than the matte. Sometimes with stress, you know, I feel like this is the situation I was in. It's not like there was a crisis situation with anyone in my life or like a huge, big, like, you've got a mega reason to be stressed, but it's just like, sometimes you think about the things that are out there and it's like you're just anticipating fears and stuff like that. And that's what gets you. It's just simply something unknown that kind of starts taking a stronghold in your brain. So two things I did do I went outside and I just sat and watched the sunset, and it was actually a relatively cool evening, and I thought, okay, this feels therapeutic. I just listened to the cicadas and I watched the lightning bugs and I watched the sunset, and I just tried to not think about anything but just the sounds of nature. And I thought that was good. And then I did my evening workout, and I didn't want to at all. I just felt like grabbing a soft blanket on the couch and just being. But you know, I'm doing this 60 semi-hard challenge, and it's 2 workouts a day, so I'm gonna take a drink of this coffee, okay? But I'm like, no, I'm gonna turn on Grow with Joe, and I'm gonna do at least a quick workout. And I did not feel like doing it a bit, but when I was done, felt significantly better. Bub and I have really been doing those together in the evenings, and he is always amazed by how hard those workouts are. I'll pick like one of the nighttime ones she has. It's like fat burn and aiding digestion or whatever. I do enjoy them, generally speaking. Last night I was just feeling like wanting to be a loaf on the couch. I grabbed this concealer from One Size. I loved this concealer. I actually considered this to be among my best concealers, and then it just kind of got set aside, kind of moved to the background. But it's the One Size Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer, which I have in the shade Fair 3. And part of what made this special, and I hope to get kind of reacquainted with this quality, I've used quite a bit of this actually. Like I can see down in the tube, a lot of bare space. But part of what made this special to me was how it was so thin, but yet really full coverage. But the thinness was really, I don't know, unusual. Like they did a really good job formulating this, and I felt like it had good staying power too. Plus got that flashy red cap on there. I'm just gonna blend this out with my beauty blender. See what pretty coverage? Just little dots. I'm trying to think what it's comparable to that I've used more recently. I would kind of say e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, only it's lighter than that. That Natasha Denona concealer, I used that one again recently. I think it's even more coverage than that. It's hard to find something that's exactly like this, but we'd be dabbing around. Hi, kitten. Oh, she's laying on her back with her paws up. Going around the nose here, just because we want to make sure all the little crevices get dealt with. Must address crevices. I will tell you something I've been doing these last few days after swimming. Generally, I don't swim with makeup on. I wash my face off, and then I put on Aveeno Baby SPF 50 all over my face. If you're ever one who's dealt with melasma, I really haven't for a while. I think it's a hormonal thing. It came on during pregnancy times, which I'm not in. But during those times when I was trying to keep it at bay because I knew sun exposure made it worse, that Aveeno Baby SPF 50 just is really some of the best stuff. So I use that, and then when I'm done in the pool, I'll wash my face, and then I do my Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair all over, and then just the thick Vanny Cream all over. And it really, these last few days, has helped my dryness a lot. Like waking up in the morning, you know, having little dry patches or extra dry areas, I'm hardly seeing that anymore. And I think it's just skin needing something extra. So yeah, cannot recommend Vanny Cream enough, and I'm still using that every day as my eye cream. I actually recently, I thought I should count it as an empty or something. I filled this jar with Vanny Cream sometime in January, I think was when I started doing that, and completely used this up and went down to my big pump container and pumped it full of Vanny Cream again, round 2. So anyway, we've got this beautiful coverage. We've got it looking thin. You can practically see light catching that area. Puffiness, yeah, there's gonna be some puffiness, at least on this morning, but all in all, we've got good coverage. Most of my loose powders are not far back in my drawer, except for one. One was pushed back there, and it's the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect. This one loves to come out for a Shop My Stash video. A Perfecting Loose Powder, I have it in the shade Light. The only retailer I really see this at is Walmart. Let me know if you see this anywhere else. It's really a good loose powder from L'Oreal. I just wish there was more accessibility with it. I tapped some into my cap there. Dab it in with Triangle. We are, as a whole, Bub and I, super excited for him starting his own law firm. There's just a lot that goes with it, but the pieces really have been falling into place very well. If this is news to you, I talked about it in a recent video somewhere along the line. But yeah, he's recently made the decision to go out on his own. He's got a beautiful office space that he's filling up with furniture, and I can't wait to get in there and start like doing some little videos with him. Okay, under eye is set. Really lightly, but I don't think we need any more than that. Hydra Perfect Loose Powder, I mean, it's just a great general loose powder. It's really fine. It's not maybe ultra brightening, if that's what you're looking for. I feel like it's a little less brightening than Maybelline Fit Me, but it's really not too far off formula-wise from that. And then I did pull out, just for maybe an all-over setting powder, my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium. So think baked powder. This medium really looks light, doesn't it? I got a kitten sleeping in the chair now. I'm just gonna take that and dab it all around. The reason why a lot of people like this kind of powder is because it has, I wouldn't say a super luminous look, but it does keep a very natural look on the skin. It doesn't get too matte. But I just haven't used mine in a really long time, so I thought, let's bust that out. I feel like this shade is so light, it could probably be good on the under eye too. But you see how my skin, you know, we got that Wet n Wild Dewy. I'm still seeing a little luminosity. Pulled out a bronzer from the back of the class. This is from Essence. It's the Sun Club Luminous Bronzing Powder. It says medium tone. Always a little confusing because it's matte, but it says luminous. Okay, Essence. We're gonna take a little bit of this around. See what we can do with it. It's giving like a very light tan. Look at that, that's fine. You know, it's just a nice little light bronzer, no big deal. Lighter than my Rimmel Natural bronzer, I think, but close to the tone of Sun Bronze. It's a big old pan. I think it would be a suitable bronzer for light to medium skin tones, but I'm not like jumping up and down with excitement over it, if that sorts this one out for you. I don't think it's going to do a lot more than that, folks, and that's fine. Let's move on to blush. Sometimes all we need is just a really good blush moment to take us physically and emotionally to another level. I pulled out this one from Hourglass. It's really pretty. It's the Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Luminous Flush. So this is, you know, part of their regular line. I know in a lot of their palettes, sometimes you find something that's in the permanent collection, and a lot of times it's something limited edition, but this one has that pinky kind of satin finish blush going on with swirls of a sort of beigey champagne color, and I've not used this in a long time, so let's just see what we get. This is my e.l.f. blush brush. Pretty. I mean, like, that could work for anything, work for any look. Giving me some health, some vibrance, yes. And the glow is really soft. You might see those swirls in there and think, is it a straight up like highlighter and blush mix? It's not that shimmery, really. I'm kind of focusing it out here and then letting it trail down a bit to the apple. Trying to keep it high. And it's just so easy to apply. Like, no struggle with that. Yeah, you don't really have to pace yourself with it. It's just easy. And then for highlighter, I reached way back and I found this Nudies from Nude Sticks All Over Face Highlight. So just a little guy here. The shade is Bubbly Baby. It can get shiny. It's got a little swatch of it right there. It's got a little dewiness to the texture as well. I think I'm going to take some off on my finger and just do a little dabbing here. Oh yeah, just patting it in, not really wanting to rake this texture across the skin and change the foundation or anything we already got there, but ooh, that's nice. Been doing a lot with quinoa lately. Mediterranean diet, you know, whole grains, they're a good thing. Threw together a really easy kind of Mexican salad with that the other day. I used black beans, pinto beans. It was a meatless thing because I just didn't have any meat to add, so I thought we'll go hard with the beans. Black beans, pinto beans. I used tomatoes. I used some frozen corn. Threw in a little taco seasoning. Is it already that time? Yeah, you can. What else went in there? Some various seasonings, a little olive oil. It turned out really good. It became even better as it like just sat in the fridge. But I just crushed some multi-grain chips on the bottom and then put some of that on top. Give it just light heat. It's a type of salad would be fine to eat cold, I think, but I just gave it a little light heat and then ate it, and it was just, everything I needed. Anyway, there's that Nude Sticks, dabbed gently on there, giving me a little bit of glow, not too much tacky texture because it was applied very lightly, but yeah, dry and crusty who? I feel like anytime I shop my stash and we get to the brows, a pomade comes out because I just don't use pomades every day. So I got this one from Benefit. Benefit Brow Pomade, shade is 4. Oh, this was the smart little pomade where they put these little steps right over here. They put a little texture on the side where you could wipe off your brush. Yeah, that's smart, that's wise. Let's brush this up a little bit and get some of the product on there. It's real creamy despite not being used in a long time. When I go in with pomades, I like to first start with the most dense part of my brow so I don't get overwhelmed. Like, you don't want to get this freshly loaded up and then boom, stick it right there, do we? No. Let's put it where it's darkest and then let it fade toward the tip and fade toward the front. And that's probably going to be actually enough product for me all around for the brow. This is my little Profusion brow brush. It's got a spoolie on one end and a thin, nice thin little angled brush on the other. A lot of control. I mean, that was pretty easy. Is it way too thick though? Stepping back, it looks kind of a little dark. Well, no going back now. It got very densely filled in a hurry. Even though I think my strategy is keeping it very wearable, this shade still has a lot of darkness and a lot of pigment. How does my little mirror get this dirty? Like, I'm looking into a mirror just below my setup here. Like, what happens? I don't get it. I blame setting sprays, I guess. Okay, I'm trying like not to do as much on this brow, but at the same time I have to match the other brow. There may be a reason why Em doesn't reach for pomades on a daily, but maybe I need to keep myself in practice a little bit more, right? I didn't grab a gel. It's gonna be a clear one, I can tell you that. Wet n Wild Mega Clear hasn't been reached for in months. Just a very standard clear brow gel. You don't want any additional color going into these brows right now. For eye primer, I'm going to use some of this Wet n Wild Mega Last. Yep, turns out there are other eye primers in the world. And just this week we used a different eye primer from Profusion. So we are branching out. Tapping this on, this got a little tackiness. Feels quite a bit like Profusion's. Looks like it might be a little neutralizing, but then once you start blending it, that kind of shears away. Trying not to get too much in any one zone. And then for eyeshadow, I have, yes, some drawers back here that have eyeshadow palettes in them, but I also have some drawers down underneath that hold like smaller palettes and quads and stuff like that. And I thought I would reach to the back of one of those drawers, and here's what I pulled out. This is from M Cosmetics. They have these little Divine Skies eyeshadow palettes, and they're really cute. I love the layout. I like the triangular piece of the pie, piece of the pizza type of thing. This is the one called Faded Clementine. This happened to be in the back. I know, I love these shades. Let's do a look with it. Does that really go with my shirt whatsoever today? Not really. Let's go to the orange. Pick up a little bit of that. It kind of looks like a soft orange. Yep, puffy eyes, you're getting dressed up today. There's that. Very pigmented. The M Cosmetics, I believe they make quite a few different little versions of these, if you want to check them out on the M Cosmetics website. I kind of want to do a video just rediscovering my M Cosmetics stuff, right? Because I was using my contour sticks the other day and cream blush sticks and just reminded of how elite those are. You know, they're so smooth, so easy to work with. And then they've got like their little serum dropper blushes, which are phenomenal. Everything they do just has this vibe of super high quality. I'm kind of to the point of just taking whatever was left on the brush and really blending it up. There's nothing like softer and lighter than that. Like, we have some shimmer over here, but I don't really feel like having a big shimmery moment up above this orange. So we're just taking that orange and we're blending it into skin, and that's where that's gonna go. I would like to take a little bit of this shade right down here. It looks like maybe like a softened magenta, perhaps. We'll put some of that in that outer corner. Well, we've gotten in a place here in this house with Legos where the Legos need to be deconstructed now because they're taking over all my bare surfaces and I can't stand it anymore. Maybe that was the root of my emotional moment last night. Like, they need to be broken down. They've built these wonderful things and we're grateful to have the Legos and we like the Legos, but now they need to go back into the boxes. I can't house this anymore. A lovely neighbor of ours gave us a bunch of phenomenal Lego sets that were so well maintained, put back in the boxes, labeled, everything. It was so nice. And we got a couple more sets yet to build, but now some of the other things need to go back in the boxes. We're gonna take this matte here, this beautiful deep matte brownish burgundy looking color. Wouldn't you say that's what that is? Some of that. I was just talking about sunsets. Only last night's sunset had a real like pastel look to it. It was interesting. This palette's making like a deep, rich sunset-y kind of eye. Just getting our pad on. Outer part here. I'm going to take a little bit of this shimmer. This is really pretty. Look at that shade. It's a little rustier than it looks in the pan. It looks almost like it's got some purple in it, but I think that could be pretty as our little blended out with the small pointed brush helper shade. Very pigmented. Like this. This is exactly what I needed today. The only two untouched shades now, this is looking kind of bronze, and then that more peachy one. I'm going to take this peach, small flat pointed brush. Oh, I love the shade. It actually is like really looking peachy. And the pigment on these, they're just so nice, so easy to work with. I really do need this lightness, I feel, coming in to create contrast on the puffy eye. Really, really pretty. I'm super happy with this look. I feel like taking a blending brush to the outer edge, just bare. Really nice. It's making my brow make a little more sense to me now. And then for eyeliner, I pulled out a cream gel eyeliner here. This is the Longwear Gel Liner from Bobbi Brown in the shade Black Ink. Remember when everybody was like obsessed with this style of eyeliner? Do I have a brush to really use with this? Oh, I do. I got a little liner brush here from Real Techniques. Comes out of their eye brush kit. It's called the Fine Liner Brush. Okay, she's juicy enough. There's still life out there in that gel liner. I think so. We're just going to take this along the lash line, y'all. Yes, you could use an angled brush, but a little pinpointed brush like this works quite well. Really trying to keep it close to the lash line. Super nice. Into that. Really nice and black. Look at this. The brush was still got quite a bit going on there. I might today take a little bit of like this shade with small pointed just for fun. Let's take a little powder on the lower lash line. I haven't done this in ages, it feels like. Just for a little more definition. Okay, then we're going to curl the lashes, and the mascara that I pulled out, I feel like I've been really good about rotating in all my mascaras that I have. I'm not letting one just sit there forever unused, but I hadn't grabbed for this one in a bit, the Lancome Hypnose Drama. This takes me back to the apartment days when I bought this mascara because Kim K's makeup artist Mario said this was the best. That was when Mario was just getting like known. It's got this funky like kind of curve to it, like whoop. This is not the original Hypnose Drama. Lancome occasionally sends some PR my way these days, so I had this again. Originally, I remember going to the Lancome counter when we still had a Macy's in Carbondale and getting it. It's not bad. That's a decent first coat for me. I'll take. And then my camera stopped recording and I didn't know it, so I lost the whole application of mascara on that eye. But here we are with Cali Ray. Grabbed out a few different Shop My Stash things here for an overall, I think, nude lip. I got a lip liner here from Laura Mercier. It's the color called Hazelnut Tea. It's the Longwear liner, so I'm just going to start there. I really get into a mode with my lip liners where I'm just wanting to use like those favorites, you know, like my e.l.f. or my Hard Candy, my Revlon. And I definitely have a bunch. I just don't reach for as much. So this is kind of like rosy neutral, I'd call this. I'm just going to fill in the whole lips with this. And then I got this Cocoa Bold lipstick from Too Faced, and it's the shade Hot Chocolate. Really do like the packaging here. That magnetic closure is just great. But this is the shade. So it's really, ooh, looking good. Smelling amazing too. Gosh, where have I been with this stuff? Ooh, love. This is what that color looks like just without the lip liner. See? Like a deepened nude. I'm into that. I even like the way that looks without any gloss on top, but I did grab a gloss. This is the Sephora collection Glossed in the shade Brave. Oh, that's going to work perfectly on top. Give us some shine. It's almost like a slightly caramely nude lip, you know? Let's swatch this out so you can really see this color. You know, it's got some sheerness, but still a kind of classic nude. I'll add a little more. I'm liking the way that feels. What do you think, friends? Do you enjoy this look? I really like the way things came out. I mean, I used some products that I know have been loved. Like, for example, that Butter Silk Concealer from One Size, that did such a great job. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy, really not an overly dewy foundation, but really looks pretty across the skin. Enjoyed getting back into that Hourglass blush. The Divine Skies eyeshadow palette from M Cosmetics, I thought did a beautiful job for this look. Totally enjoy this lip color. I don't wear a lot of true nudes. I've been into more browns lately. If I'm thinking neutral, that's been the direction I go, but this looks great, I think. Not really in love with the brow pomade just because I haven't been using those much. I'm out of practice with those. And the Hypnose Drama, it's already dropping curl. It's pretty thick on my lashes. I can even see a few specks where I got a little, I don't know what. I didn't even notice myself make those mistakes. But it's just kind of heavy on the lashes and added a lot of thickness, but not a ton of length. So just know that. But thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you watching, listening to my rambles, watching the makeup look. Let me know, as always, if you've got any video requests in mind. Also, I wanted to let you know I'm working on getting my playlists better sorted out, and I'm in a kind of an ongoing process of getting videos added to playlists after not really paying attention to my playlists for a long time. So if you go to youtube.com/EmilyNoel83, you'll see like the newest videos, maybe recommended videos for you, shorts. And then if you really like watching a certain one and you just want to watch them like back to back to back without having to click anything, you can turn on one of those playlists. The main ones I have are reviews, get ready with me / tutorials. I got hauls, makeup dupes, a section called top products for any video where I've just been like highlighting the best in certain categories, and a section of collection, storage, declutter, clean with me types of videos. And then I've got additional ones. If you like scroll down to the bottom, you can see I've got my playlist of Emily Awards where I tried someone's top 5, quick makeup looks, different things. So I'm trying to get a little bit better about the categorization on my channel for your viewing pleasure. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.